Today we're going to put an electric window motor in the driver's side door of a 2002 Pontiac Grand Am. Here's the new motor. These are specific to the driver's side or passenger side, so there's a different part number for each one. First thing you want to do is hold the window completely closed with a little bit of packing tape or a little bit of blue painter's tape. Next we're going to remove this little tweeter up here. It just pops out. Then disconnect the wire to it. There's a screw in behind this handle. Take that out. This here unit for the window operation will pop out of there. Actually, I've had to put a screw in here because it's been popped out so many times, but from the factory that'll just pop out of there. Disconnect those wires. There is a little trunk release switch here. Be a wire on that. And then this little reflector lens will pop out of there. Oftentimes you'll break it during the process, so this one I just basically siliconed back in last time. We'll pry that out. There'll be a screw back there. And then once you get this thing out, there'll be another big screw to take out behind it. Right above the trunk release, there's another screw down inside there. Once those are all removed, you can pry the bottom out, then lift it straight up. It should come out of there. There are no other screws holding the door panel on. There's just some push-in plastic locks that hold it in place, snap it in place basically. That little unit just pops right out of there. It's held in with a couple pins and one snap. Two snaps actually. Just going to push a small screwdriver or a ice pick under there and kind of lift that up, and then that little tab will slide out. This multi-switch unit pops out of there. Just disconnect these wire connectors. They're all unique, so they can't be plugged in the wrong way or the wrong direction or in the wrong slot, so you're fine. Just pry them off of there, pull them out. They decided to give you a variety of ways to get them out, but on this last one, just get a small screwdriver, ice pick under there, lift the tab up, and then it'll pull straight out. Then once you've got that out of the way, you can see the big screw back in there. Go ahead and take that out, along with that one there inside the handle, and the one behind that reflector lens. Right above the trunk release, there's another screw down inside there. Like I said earlier, a lot of times you'll break the tabs off of these, so when you go to put it back in there, just use a little dab of silicone and lightly hold it on there. The screw in here is a little bit hard to find, so you kind of gotta just get in there and feel around until you fall into the Phillips head. The screw in there is pretty much going straight in like this, not at an angle, but straight in and out. Once you've got all those screws off, you basically just want to work your way around pulling out on this till you get this unit kind of swinging loose like this, and then it will lift up and off of that top lip. There is this piece of trim seal up here that it's kind of engaged with, but it'll pop off of there. Once you've got it popped off, you need to remove the plug for the trunk release. Just pry that little green part back, pull the pin out. Once you've got this panel off, you can kind of see what you're dealing with here, but there's a bunch of these little connectors that just basically push in and grab. There's kind of a tube that sticks up there for the first kind of alignment hole. A lot of these little connectors were pretty bent. You know, I tried to Looks like last time I got put on they kind of got crushed and were kind of pushed down, so did the best I could to kind of straighten them out. Next, you're going to want to remove this vapor barrier. Typically this is held on with kind of a sticky silicone that hopefully you can just pull it back far enough to get to that motor, and then when you're ready to put it back together, kind of push it back up there and it'll stay in place. If not, you can hold it in there with a little bit of packing tape. Once you get that vapor barrier pulled back out of the way, you can easily see the motor in there. It's held in with 3 bolts. There's an electrical connector that pops off pretty simply over on the other side. Over in here, electrical connector. Basically just remove those 3 bolts and the connector, put the new one in. Today I'm not replacing the window regulator. I have on this car. Basically you need to take this center bracket out. There's the 3 nuts there. That centerpiece will come out. Then there are 4 bolts that hold the regulator in there. Take those out. Of course you'll have to take it loose from the window clips, and it'll come out of there. It's pretty easy. Put the new one in, reattach the window clips, you're in business. Once you get that motor hanging loose, it might be a little easier to get that electrical connection off. Then you're going to want to take a look inside of here and make sure that that still has teeth all the way around, because those teeth are going to match up with the ones on the motor. Once you've got that motor hanging loose, you can just push in on that gray button there, and then that electrical clip will pop straight out. Here's the old one. Make sure it looks like the new one. And in this case they appear to be a match, so pop the electrical connector in, install the 3 bolts, reverse the operation. When I took the old motor out, it had a lot of grease packed around that plastic gear. The new one did not come with any kind of a packet of grease, but I'm going to take just a small amount of that grease and put it on the gear of the new motor, just a small amount. Installed the electrical plug on the motor, bolted it in place. At this point you should probably snap on the switch connector, remove the tape off your window, run it up and down, make sure everything's working. I'm going to roll the dice and decide that it's going to work and put everything back together. So first thing you're going to want to do is feed the wires back through this vapor barrier, specifically the trunk release one, and also the switch operator ones there. Okay, there was enough sticky left there that I got the vapor barrier reinstalled, wires sticking through. Now you're going to make sure this top seal is seated correctly, and then you're going to work that door panel back into place, kind of over that handle there and back into place, and then pop in on all those various fasteners that are holding it on. Don't forget to reconnect the trunk release first. Feed those wires through the hole and then pop this panel back on. Also, don't forget to have that wire for your tweeter speaker sticking up when you're done. I've got it back on. It's basically just hanging on the top lip. I want to re-emphasize the importance of having that tweeter wire sticking up and out of there. Reconnect your switches, pop that assembly into place, put the trim piece back on there and the screw. You've got the screw back in here to put on. The the screw behind the old reflector down there. And then don't forget this one that's down inside of here. Then reconnect your tweeter, pop that into place, and you're done. Right at this point, it's a good time to test the operation of your new motor. Pop that switch cover on before you've gone to the other steps. Make sure the window rolls up and down. Obviously, remove that tape before you try that. Alright, everything seems to be working. You can check your mirror, snap her back together, and you're basically done. To get this piece back in, you're going to want to pull out on the handle, feed the backside in first, and then the front will snap in, put the screw in. If someone else or you broke the tabs off while pulling out this reflector, just put a dab of silicone on it, glue it into place, leave it set for a while, you'll be fine. If it keeps falling out on you, just lightly hold it in place with a little bit of blue tape. Give it a couple hours, peel the tape off.